Welcome back to another Bourbon Santa video. Today we're going to talk about my 2023 whiskey goals. Now, I don't know why you guys want to watch this, but I'm going to put it out there. Because, maybe it affects a few people. So, while I'm doing that, I'm going to sip on my, what I call the awesome sauce. And this is a revolving infinity bottle that I share with my Patreons. Every month I pull about 6 ounces out of this and then replace that 6 ounces with new stuff. And it's all like bangers. So, there's BTAC in there. There's all kinds of crazy stuff in there. Man, there's some sediment in the bottom from the barrels. Holy crap. Yeah, almost everything in there is cast strength. That's wild. Okay, so my goals for 2023. Okay, first off, number one is to be more intentional. I'm kind of a go with the flow kind of guy, and that's just how I've always been. And I need to be a little more intentional with how I run this channel, and some other things in my life too. There are some things going on in my personal life with my family that are a lot right now, and we're gonna get through it, and then come out the other side. And there's just some things that I want to be a little more intentional about instead of letting them just happen. And that's always how I've been. Is just hey, go with the flow. Everything will work out. And sometimes things don't always work out the way you think they're going to, or you hope they're going to. So that's one thing for sure. I want to be a little more intentional with the way I run things around here, and plan a little better. I want to plan a little better for videos, for Patreon stuff, for a lot of things. I've got to do a little more planning than I've been doing. This has kind of been just seat of the pants, winging it so far. And I need to, this channel's getting a little bigger, and I need to really buckle down and start planning things out ahead of time. See, I juggle this channel along with a full-time job running a whole other business, and then everything, managing stuff with what's going on with my family. It's a lot. So I'm gonna work on that. That's one thing I'm gonna work on this year for sure. Number 2, more experiments, more whiskey experiments. Now I have a list of whiskey experiments that I have, and I'm just gonna start doing it. I'm gonna start doing a couple of them a month, and some of them, or a couple of them a year, and some of them are kind of ambitious, to say the least. And some of them I'm gonna be able to share with you guys the end result when it's done. So I'm definitely gonna do a lot more experiments this year, and I'm gonna shoot video along the way, show you how I'm doing it, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. And we're going to have some fun with that. That's going to be really fun. Number 3, way less MGP. Way less. I've been kind of getting burnt out on MGP stuff for a while now, and it's really just kind of come to a head. Too many of the things that I've been reviewing taste so similar to each other, and I'm just not enthused about it. I'm not enthused about it anymore. When 4Gate is putting out stuff that is roughly the same as like Barrel King, and in the same ballpark with other people that are putting out very similar things, and you have this wide spectrum of price, it's like, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? And, OKI, same thing. Penelope, Smoke Wagon, way too much MGP. There's just too much of it everywhere. And while I enjoy those MGP releases, they're too similar. When they all play Monkey See, Monkey Do and run around and do an Amburana finish, or do a port finish, or do, they all just jump on the bandwagon with each other, and it's all the same crap. We got a Amburana finish coming from 4Gate. Why? Why? Why would you do it? Everybody else is doing it. Oh, that's why. Because they want a little share of that little niche market. I'm over it. I'm just over it. Oak and Eden, all of the MGP major producers, I'm just not impressed anymore. There are a few that I'll keep buying. I'll keep buying Barrel King because I love it. And I'm really excited about the way Jared is blending. I'm excited for what they have planned for the future. I've got no problem if you're buying MGP to build towards something different in the future. I got no problem with that. But if your whole business model is around buying barrels from MGP and maybe finishing them, maybe not, and putting them out, I'm just not all that interested anymore. If one is amazing and people tell me it's amazing, I'll try it. And I'm still going to buy some and review some for the channel. But for me, I'm just not into it. I'm just not. I'm way more into the stuff up here. Craft stuff being made by small distilleries with local grains, and everything up here, nothing up there tastes the same on the shelf behind me. Nothing. Every one of these tastes wildly different from each other. Now I can go onto this shelf of MGP stuff, and I'm going to find similarities everywhere. Over here. Some over here too. Some over here. I'm going to find similarities. They're going to be clearly from the same distillate or from the same distillery. And that just doesn't excite me anymore. It doesn't do it for me. Same thing with High West. All that sourced High West up top. It's just, I don't know, that doesn't excite me anymore. It doesn't tickle my schmickle, as they say. I haven't tasted this yet, so. Oh, man, I can still smell the, there's Armagnac in there. And, dang, I can smell it. Oh, that's funky. Woo, that's potent. Okay, number 4, Way Less Kentucky. So, Way Less Indiana and Way Less Kentucky. This is all Kentucky on this shelf. Or no, this is Tennessee. You don't belong there. Everything else on that shelf is Kentucky. And there's stuff on that shelf that I love. I love OF BPs. I love the OF Rye. I love the weird Woodfords. I love Woodford Double Oaked for a daily drinker. But I want to buy a lot less of it this year. A lot less. There are other distilleries that I am way more interested in. There are distilleries in Charleston that I want to buy more bottles of. There are distilleries in Alabama, Detling. I am dying to get my hands on a 5-grain cast strength Detling. There are so many others. 5 Drops from Montana. I want to see what else they have. I have 1 bottle from them so far. I want to see what else they've got. I've got Highline Distilling, a bottle of that on its way to me. Their red corn. I tried a sample of it, loved it. Somebody reached out and said, hey, I'll send you a bottle. And I was like, okay. Because holy crap, that's amazing. Can't get it here. I can't get it here. So I want way more of that, way less Kentucky. I want to explore. And having, disappointing release after disappointing release come out of Kentucky, I mean, daily drinkers, there's a lot of those from Kentucky. I want to explore new and weird and funky. Number 5, more live streams. This is something that it goes back to the being more intentional goal. I've got to just plan it out and do it. It's kind of hard with my personal life, wife, kids, all that, to do a live stream, but I've got to get into it and do it more because they're fun. I really enjoy doing them, and I watch other people doing them, and I think I have a different kind of platform that I want to put forward in the live stream that is more of a kind of live stream that I want to watch instead of some of the other live streams that are around that I really can't get into them. I don't know. There's just something about them that I'm not in love with. So we'll see how that goes. 6, distillery experiences. I want to visit a few more distilleries this year. I've been to a few distilleries before, and I've been to Jack. I've been to Nashville Barrel Company. They're an NDP. They're not distilling, so it's not a distillery. Technically, it is. They're licensed that way, but they're just bottling, dumping barrels and bottling. So I want to go to some more distilleries. I have a short list that I want to go to this year, hopefully. And so that's definitely something I want to do. And that feeds into 7. My 7th goal for this year is more education on the distilling process for me personally. I want to be way more familiar with how distilling is done. And that may be leading towards eventually me getting myself licensed as a craft or micro distillery so that I can do distilling experiments. And that feeds back into goal number 2 with more experiments. That's one of the things that I want to do. I want to get a small still. I want to do some small scale micro distilling to learn about the process for myself, for the videos, for just going forward. Eventually I would actually love to work in the distillery industry. And so I want to get way more educated on that into the process and doing it. And I have a few weird ideas about distilling and aging whiskey that I really want to experiment with. So that's kind of the direction I want to go. Anyway, those are my goals for 2023. I hope this was an interesting video. It's Mr. Jeffrey Wack from Hello Again Whiskey Friends. He did a goals for 2023, and I keep wanting to say 2022. I can't get used to this being a new year, even though we're almost a month into it already. Anyway, that was my goals. I told him that I would make a video about this, so there it is. Until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Drink more whiskey.